where do bad habits come from? So it's a tricky thing. Habits, how you can a habit, they say, is something that you do that you are not aware of. I guess it's sort of like a subconscious or upconscious yeah, it's like something sort of like a program, something that that you do that you're not really aware of. Everything else is basically a choice, but some things, because of say something that you were exposed to during childhood and how it affects your life as an adult. And so there was a study that I read, some scientific literature about how to essentially cultivate good eating habits in children. And so the study was about because like some people eat a lot of junk food, and then some people eat quite healthy, and it's like you got to wonder what it is that contributes to that kind of stuff. And so they looked at so the study was about something. They had say two groups. One of them ate what is called a Nordic style diet. So this is a low protein, plant based, like in season, local kind of healthy food style of a diet. And then so this is one group, and then the other group ate what was like, I guess, like a traditional European diet, which included quite a variety of things that people eat that they consider, as foodstuffs and as healthy and whatnot. And so what it was like during these two groups during the first 18 months, they ate these different diets, and then post 18 months, it was like the children that ate this Nordic style, low protein, plant based diet, they continued to eat that way. I mean, like, because their palate was developed, they became attuned to eating certain types of foods. And so it's like, I think the things that you eat when you're very young, they hold a special place in your heart. You never forget them. They remind you of your childhood. It is something that, that you reminisce on. It's like you remember. I always remember, yeah, certain things that my mom used to feed me. And then but then the people, the group of children that ate all of the other stuff, they ate, say, I think it was like the Nordic style people, they ate like 50% more fruits and vegetables. But the kids who started eating the junk food, the chips and the breads and like just things that are not exactly whole, fresh, raw, ripe, organic fruits and vegetables, in season, local, dirt grown, that kind of stuff, they developed a taste for that, and then kept eating that stuff. And it's like, it's interesting because, and then like, you go into life, and then like you become addicted. You're either addicted or not addicted, but it's like you eat this healthy stuff and that is your norm, or you eat this junk food and that is your norm. But that junk food is highly addictive. I mean, like, the people who make that stuff, they know that like enough salt and fat and sugar in a thing, it just hits you in a way, it causes a reaction. It's just like, I want more, more, more. And it's just like, then you can develop, I think what the idea was that you could develop through those poor eating habits, like addictive type behaviors later in life. I mean, and that is a serious issue for a lot of people. I know I've struggled, not weight wise, but sometimes I would eat things and it's just like, why do I eat like this? Why do I enjoy these things when I know that they're not good for me? They don't make me feel good ever. They're enjoyable while you eat them, and then when you're in, it's just like, wow, I feel terrible. It's like, how did I develop this habit of eating these food stuffs? I mean, it could barely even be called food. They're edible. in place of things that make you feel alive and healthy and vibrant and makes your skin, your complexion, and you glow. I mean, it's like, so that's the idea, is how, just to highlight this thing that, how important it is, what it is that that children are exposed to as at a very young age, because it becomes something that is, that's kind of imprinted on them. And yeah, I mean, it's like addiction is a huge thing. Food addiction, enormous. I mean, they say there's cheese is more addictive than heroin. I mean, it's a funny one. I mean, not going to go into that right now, but like, yeah. And so, I mean, and then just like taking it a step further, you think about how, just how much of an impact many things can have on you as a child. And so how important it is as adults and parents specifically to be very careful about what a child is exposed to. Because your diet is not just what you eat as physical sustenance, it is also what you see, it is what you hear. It becomes your normal. Like if you grow up in an abusive household and you think that kind of thing is okay, the way that people treat each other, hitting or yelling, and you don't really know any difference, because like for you it was normal and it was okay and it just went on. Then you have to process that and deal with it, and then come to terms with it, and you have to do personal work, shadow work, and really you have to do research and realize it's like, oh, maybe that wasn't the most healthy, and it's like, yeah, just how pivotal that time, those first 18 months, and really, as I think I understand it, like the first 7 years, as like kind of to do with like chakra development, as you're going through this thing where you're developing your sense of relationship to different elements of your experience, and just how big of a deal it is. And so it's why it's like hugely important to be brought up in a well-balanced, holistic, environment, a healthy environment. And of course, that's not always that easy. It's tough. I mean, but all we can do is talk about it and think about it and strive towards it. And, maybe as a society, sometime down the road, there will be more of a system that is implemented that is capable of sharing the right kinds of attitudes and mentalities and ways of looking at things, and in a society where all the food is organic and it's fresh and free and like all that kind of stuff. I mean, I think we're moving towards that, but yeah, for now we just have to help one another, and each one teach one, share the love, spread the message, and be a positive example of what is possible. And yeah, I mean, take care of those kitties, because if the damage that can be done at such a young age, it can take a lifetime to unpack, and not all people make it that far, because life is a lot, right? So it's good to give these little kiddos the best head start that is humanly possible. I mean, so yeah, I love kids so much. I really do. Yeah, feed them good food, treat them right, and talk to them with respect, because they deserve it.